Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the final episode of Chillin Buildin on this build, the PvP carrier build. And I'm going to give you a quick tour of this little beast now that we've had a little fly around. As you can see, I have painted her, and I did a bit of texturing, not a massive amount of texturing, because, oh god, well, you can imagine trying to texture and paint this thing takes forever. So anyway, I have painted her in the traditional pirate colors of black and red. I hope you like the paint job. Obviously, feel free to change it if it's not to your taste. Hell, you can download this thing from the workshop today. The link is in the video description. It is all yours. And first of all, before we get started with a tour through the final build here, I think we need to name this thing, don't we? Well, let's do it. So thank you everyone who suggested a name. First of all, I'm going to put your names on the screen now. Thank you very much for all the suggestions that I got. Great stuff, you guys are awesome. So it was really difficult to find the name. There were so many good ones, some not so good ones, but the names, it was so difficult to pick out of all of them. I just had to kind of look at the ship and go, what suits it? What do I call it? I don't know, but you know, I have picked one, and I'll tell you why I picked this name. Is if you think about the pirate ships of the old times, they were all something like, you know, the Jolly Roger, the Black Pearl. You know, they were the double-barreled name that really rung true, and I think that's something that comes from a sort of British Navy tradition. You know, the Queen Anne and Prince of Wales and that sort of thing. So I've decided that one of the names that stood out to me was a double-barreled name, basically, and I loved it. I fell in love with it, and I thought, yes, that's it. That's got to be it. So, without further ado and further waffling on, I hereby present you, ladies and gentlemen, the Reaver's Wrath. And I particularly like the name Reaver's Wrath because Reavers is also a reference to the bad guys in Firefly, the TV series. And you know, the black and red colour scheme of the pirate ships really kind of match the Reavers quite nicely. So Reaver's Wrath, I love it. And I hope you guys do too. And thank you so much, Seth Spriggs. Thank you for that suggestion. What a hero. Great name, great suggestion. Thank you very much. And congratulations, I suppose? I don't know. You don't really win anything other than the fact that I've just used your name for my ship. But yeah, brilliant. Okay, anyway, let's take a tour of this beast. Let's go in the front. One of the things that I've done is I've added a bit of signal logic here to the front of the ship. Now, if I fly, there we go. So flying close to the ship, the doors open well in advance of you actually getting to them, and they should close behind me as well. But there's another sensor in there. We go. There's another sensor on the inside that reverses the first sensor's decision. The second pair of doors here, there's no signal logic on these. They just open when you get close to them. And I've populated the hangar here with all of my SVs just to give you an idea of what this thing will look like when it's got a full complement of fighters and scout ships. Let's go through the door at the bottom here. So this is, I wanted to put the constructors and things down here because this is ultimately the first door that you're going to come into. So if you're returning in an SV and you've just got a load of ore or loot, if you've been raiding, you know, you want to be able to offload that fairly quickly. So you can park your ship right here and just offload that straight into the constructors and cargo containers here. So let's go downstairs a bit. Nothing special here. On the sides we've got access to our extra large thrusters that give our sideways thrust, so you can repair them from inside the ship if you want. Through this door into the lower hangar bay. I don't know if I ever actually showed you guys the lower hangar bay, but yeah, there is one. And this is what it looks like from the outside. You might have seen it flying past. This is the small secondary hangar bay. As I see it, this would be where you would have boarding parties, dropships, that sort of thing. So your main fighters and bombers are in the main hangar bay. This would be where Marines would come. They'd board a ship, a bit like this one, which is a cargo ship, but actually you could stack it with chairs quite easily with a little bit of reconfiguration. Or use your own dropships, obviously. Marines would jump into this thing would deploy down to a planet, off to another ship, a derelict, something like that, and they would go and do their job. So that's the bottom hangar. Now we go back up, and this is the door we came into, so we're back in the constructors now. If we go straight across this elevator, we end up in our engineering section. I'm just going to turn God mode off for this. So I had to do this engineering section twice because I had a mishap with the blueprint files getting wiped, but it's a 3-story engineering section. It's pretty skinny, so it's kind of quite a tight fit, but I'm quite happy with the way it turned out. If we go through this door here, we've got lots of radiation warnings. This is the main warp core, and so obviously we've got a big donut warp core there. I tried to put some piping in there to represent some kind of magnetic field thing, and we've obviously got a warp tank here feeding directly into those pipes. And you know, it looks very radioactive, which is great. So as we walk around engineering, we've obviously got a lot of piping in here, which is flow of fuel, coolant, steam, God knows what else. We've got some showers in here to get rid of radiation if we've been in the warp core for too long. You know, control circuitry. I love the lighting that I've put in here. The orange hue gives it that sort of that living feel of these orange pipes that are transporting all the coolant. I'd imagine them to be very hot, basically, and the orange light gives that kind of effect. We go up to the first level, and we've got access here to our large thrusters, which are on the back of the ship, so we can repair them from within as well. We come out to the central control console for engineering, another door back into the elevator that we came from. More piping work, kind of similar to the other side, but you'll notice also we've got 6 T1 generators in here. I don't have any T2 generators. I don't think I need them. If we go up to the top, a bit more of the same, basically, some piping, decals, pumps, whatever you want to call them, but yeah, and again access to the large thrusters. Let's go back down to this level and head back into the elevator. We go straight across, well, down and across from the engineering section. We come here and we've got a couple of, I don't know what to call them, well, sick bay and armory, let's call them what they are. So sick bay, we got some beds, decals, O2, and obviously the actual medical bays themselves. We go across to the armory, our armor lockers, and the repair station at the end there. They've changed the armor locker model since a recent patch. Looks pretty cool, looks like a transformer. Love it. Good. On this level as well, there's a door at the end here, and this goes into our fuel tank area, and there's one on either side. Possibly not the most clever design for a PvP ship, having all the fuel tanks together, but that's why they're on 2 sides. If we lose one bank of fuel, we've got the other bank to fall back on. Hopefully it will never come to that, but you know, this is an untested design. We don't know. So we'll go back up into the elevator again and up to the next floor, and we've got, which is where all of our passenger seats are essentially. I've kitted them out to look like briefing rooms for the fighter pilots. Okay, but actually, you know, if you're going to operate this ship in a real server environment, you're going to need somewhere for your passengers to sit, somewhere that's close to the ships they're going to be jumping into as soon as you warp to a sector. So open door, everyone can easily rush out of the briefing room and jump into the fighter ship that they are going to be piloting. So a bit of practicality there. Cargo boxes out here on the hangar floor, both decorative and functional. Somewhere to store all the ammo and fuel for all these ships, easy access. This is empty, and it's empty on both sides. I have no idea what to do with this space. Essentially, I suppose you could turn it into crew quarters, but it's quite narrow. It's a bit of a pain, and actually there's access down here to Jeffrey's tubes, where we've got some RCSs here, but as you can see, extra large thrusters either end. Also up and down lead to the large thrusters on the back of the ship as well. So if you guys can think of anything to do with this space, by all means, go for it, and I'd love to see what you do with it. Crew quarters, garden, you know, yeah. Let's see what you do with it. But let's carry on. We go up the elevator one more time. So here we come to the captain's quarters, officer's lounge, and also the main hangar control room. It's also a pilot seat, so it could actually control the ship quite safely from within here. This is right in the center of the ship, so it's probably the most well protected armored part of the ship. We go back down, we can check out the captain's quarters. Very lavish, very nice. Some tiling, bathroom, coffee table, TV by the bed, another TV in the living room. Brilliant. And the officer's lounge. We've got a bar and a bit of kitchen, some mood lighting, and somewhere to sit, and some lavatories. Pretty much mostly decorative, although there is a food processor and fridge there. And also these doors here, and there's another one on the other side as well. So this gives you sort of access to the hangar deck, but it is mostly just a way around the next part of the ship. Here we come to the main mess hall. Okay, so we've got some kitchens on either side, two kitchens to feed the enormous crew that would that would accompany this ship. The core, beautifully on display in the main mess hall. We've got some kitchens, food processors, fridges, lots of dining area, and I went through all sorts of different colours to try and find the right one for that wall, and ended up on that colour. I'm still not sure about it, but let's go with that for now. If we go up a level, so we're now above where we just were. Oh, duh, it's just gone up a level. No shit, you're above where you were. Oh dear, right. I didn't really know what to do with this space, but I wanted to turn it into some kind of like laboratory area, control sort of center. Ship operations, I guess, would be a good way of describing it. We've got a couple of labs here for lab stuff, where scientists would do science. An isolation quarantine room where they're studying this thing. And they can observe it from inside the other lab or from outside the labs as well. So yeah. So the other thing on this deck is, and I didn't really know what to call this area other than just like operations center. Secondary operations center. Lots of command consoles, some large energy transfer conduit thingy majigs, a couple of cockpits here as well, so we can't even control the ship from here, or the hot seat here, but this is probably the most vulnerable point on the ship. From the outside, this is the pointy nose bit on the top of the ship there. But yeah, it looks pretty cool from here. You can come up here and you can see over the main bow of the ship. You can see the large cannons on the nacelles. Yeah, it's a pretty good view from up here. Anyway, if we head back towards our labs, we've got a elevator positioned here, and this takes us up to the main bridge area. So I had to add in a couple of practical things here because we're miles away from anything else on the ship here, so there's some O2 and some healing points here. We've got about 2 layers of combat steel armor here, so again pretty weak, pretty vulnerable, but there's nothing particularly vital here. Again, you can pilot the ship from here. There's another set of cockpits here, captain's chair, and again you've got another observation area here where you can see over. You can't see as much, but you can see over the lower decks. We've got some CNC stuff, control, navigation, operations, that sort of thing, tactical planning and whatnot. Let's turn the torch off and you get an idea of the light level in here, so you can actually see out of the windows, because our retinas aren't being burned by bright white lights. And from the captain's chair, can I look around? No, you're not going to let me look around? Okay, fine. From the captain's chair you can get a pretty good look at everything going on. It is a little bit claustrophobic though, because I raised it up. I had 2 blocks of space, but I wanted to raise it up above the these areas basically. So there we go. That's pretty much it. From an outside point of view, you've got these cannons here, which have just got pulse lasers inside them, so they are functional cannons. Obviously the pulse lasers don't do a massive amount of damage, so having a muzzle barrel that large is a little bit of a overstatement of its power, but it looks pretty awesome. We've got flat cannons adorning the side of the ship on the forward section, and twin pulse laser turrets adorning it on the rear section, the armor, ablative armor nacelles. On top of the ship we've got 2 artillery turrets. This is not a fighting vessel, it is a carrier ship, so I didn't want to overstack it with artillery cannons. Guarding the front entrance, 4 rocket turrets. On the underside of the ship as well is a line of rocket turrets. Secondary hangar guarded by cannon turrets. I didn't think it was necessary to put anything more than cannon turrets there, given the rocket turrets here. If somebody was trying to get into the secondary hangar, they would have to deal with 4 rocket turrets, 4 cannon turrets, and God knows what else in order to try and get into that position in the first place. Got more laser turrets there. On the inner sections of the rear hull, we've got minigun turrets and cannon turrets. The rear is definitely the weakest part of the ship. The rear guard is minigun turrets, rocket turrets, minigun turrets. So let's see how this thing actually performs in a PvE environment. First of all, I've loaded it into a survival game mode here, and we're just going to go take on the alien outpost now in the asteroid field. I've turned the frames per second on. You can see that in the top right corner, so you can see as she is moving forward at the blistering pace of 91.1 meters a second. She's not actually lagging the frames out at all. And we're going to start receiving fire any second now. I'm just trying to put her in the ideal position to have all of her guns open fire. Let's see. There we go, lasers are opening up now. Okay, here we go. We got some incoming fire, people. And the turrets are not configured in any way, so they're just on default settings. Just trying to maneuver her a little bit. Get those cannons opening up, people. Let's go, let's go. The artillery guns are well, there goes the alien satellite. That's dealt with. That's a broadside right there. Yes. No, stop firing, come on. Keep firing. That laser turrets have been really stubborn. We haven't got them low enough. I don't know. Maybe I need to rotate her a little bit more. Okay, it is quite tricky to get the all the turrets in an ideal firing position, so there seems to be like a sweet spot where flak turrets will engage and the laser turrets will engage. I guess maybe the ideal thing to do is to keep moving. flying around the target in a circle, maybe. Yeah, there goes the laser turrets. They're finally opening up. That's what we wanted to see. Let's maybe pitch her up a little bit and get the rocket turrets to make the shoot at. If I point the ship roughly at the target, you can see the flak turrets and the laser turrets are able to open up, and the missile turret. So that's an ideal angle to the target. Open fire. So we're trading quite heavily there. I think because the turrets aren't configured as well, remember, so they might be shooting rather at the enemy turrets, generators, cores, that sort of thing. So you're always going to want to configure the turrets before going into battle like this to shoot at what you want to shoot at, ideally. Pretty good looking broadside though. We've lost a few turrets. Oh, something went pop. There we go. That definitely did something. And there goes the core. Smashing. Goodo. Let's see what the damage is. Let's GM this through here and let's see. Well, first of all, we got devices. Ooh, the flare's taken 32% damage. Damn. Well, I think we're gonna have to scrap it and start again, boys. Can't be having 32% damage on a flare. We have lost some turrets. We've lost a couple of flak turrets. There looks like the rocket turrets on the front are still fine. Few flak turrets on the front. This entire area has been melted away here on the outside. All flak turrets missing there. The rocket turrets on the bottom are still all good. Cannon turrets are quite happy, firing away. Did we lose any lasers? Lasers are still firing away and lagging me out. That's good to see. Every time a turret fires, you see my screen just jumps. And the laser turrets are here are fine as well. The arty turrets are both there. Still quite happy there. So, in that engagement, we were completely and utterly reckless in our approach on that station. And, you know, we're fine. We're absolutely fine. We've lost a few turrets. No big deal. So let's make sure they do actually fire. They do actually fire. Look at that. That's cool. Look at that. That's very cool. Pew, pew, pew. Hell yeah. Okay, so let's see how this thing does in a PvP test. Joining me now, I have my beautiful, glamorous assistants, a Lucifer and a Chisel. So how's it going, guys?
Hello.
Hello.
So these guys have jumped into some well-tested PvP ships, some pirate ships, some you might recognize. We've got the Exomedia, created by Chief Rocky and Exomedia, funnily enough, and the Liberator, which is a pretty famous pirate ship created by the Chisels himself. So, yeah, guys, come at me, bro. Let's see how this thing does. Gladiator Wars is a PvP sector now, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. There we go, right.
It was like a delayed...
Oh, look at that, both broadsides are going. I feel so helpless. I feel like a wildebeest being picked on by lions. No, leave me alone. I'm innocent. Normally, I would expect this thing to be escorted by these very ships that are attacking it, actually. But hopefully, we can survive pretty well against this onslaught. I don't know how my armor's holding up. I haven't really looked. Let's switch the old on. I'm pretty much sitting up while I do this, but hey, we have lost a few turrets already. Where do these turrets go? Well, I'm going to see if I can position myself to get forward cannons into play here. Urgh. Take it. Yes. Have that or something. I think I've missed every shot. A couple of hits on the main cannons. Oh yeah.
Engines are no longer.
Oh, the Nvidia is in trouble. Let's focus fire.
I am going really slow right now.
Flak turrets and laser turrets are eating you up. Oh dear, the Nvidia is really taking a pounding now. Look at that broadside. And the RT turret's coming in as well. Still, you know, oh, it's moving again.
I found another pilot seat.
Kill it! Oh, they have. We've lost a hangar door, people.
I got blasted out of the pilot seat.
Trying to keep the laser turrets facing the Liberator, but this is moving so quickly. I think I just saw something go pop on the Liberator though, and again. I think you might have just lost a turret, maybe an engine.
Yeah, I think I've run out of ammo here for my mounted weapon.
That's not good. Well, that's good. Yeah, it's so survivable that it forces the enemy ships to run out of ammo.
There you go.
Yep.
Bless the little artillery turrets trying to shoot moving targets. Bless them for trying.
They did their best.
Oh.
I just lost another turret.
Oh, yeah, I can only see one turret firing from your ship now.
Got one on either side of the circle.
Have you got any turrets left? Loose?
Yeah, I think I got one minigun left, it looks like. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Trying to keep the ship maneuvered so that one turret.
I think my turrets are focusing on the Liberators. Oh, no, yeah, because you've got a bit of the Nvidia stuck to the Liberator now on my screen.
I don't see that.
And my turrets are focusing on your thrust, maybe? Oh no, yeah, you have got two turrets. I'm gonna have a little wander inside my ship, I think. Alright. The ship is in combat, and I'm just gonna go for a drink. I'm just gonna visit the bar, have a drink.
Oh,
Well, I'm now officially out of turrets, so...
Oh no.
that was a lot of explosions I just heard.
Have you got any turrets left? Devices?
Yeah, I still have some turrets left.
Yeah, no way. Well, I'll keep shooting you then.
Ship did have a
But
lot
they're
more
all,
turrets than
like I said, they're all, oh, God, maneuver, dodge, roll, do something.
Oh, you just got smacked by the arty. Oh yeah, I see. You got two turrets on your... I don't even know what side of ship that is. You got three on the other.
Yeah, but they seem to be having problems firing.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to hover in position at one point just to get them to acknowledge there's a target. Oh, why? That's so weird. I seem to have spurts of speed, and then it suddenly won't move.
That was cool. Let's have a look at the damage. Let's see what's what the damage is. Well, on the right-hand side of the ship, which is the now correct me if I'm wrong. That's the starboard side. Yes. I missed a bit of paint, apparently. God damn it. I can't correct that. We've lost two flak turrets from there. Now the front is a bit of a mess. Okay, definitely taken a lot of damage to the very front of the ship. We've lost all four of the rocket turrets here. The main hangar doors are gone. The motion sensor's gone as well. That's outrageous. How dare you destroy the motion sensor?
No.
On the port side, left side, yeah, we've lost a little bit more armor there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Torch. 4 black turrets down. On that side, secondary hangar untouched. 4 cannon turrets still up. Not a block missing by the look of it, which is nice. All the main hull armor, on initial quick inspection at least, looks like it's completely intact. We have lost 2 missile turrets on the bottom there. RT turrets are still in place. The main guns are still in place, if you can call them the main guns. Though the armor here has definitely taken a beating. We can see the rippled armor. Oh, we've still got some smoke pouring off the armor there. Look at that, that's cool. Laser turrets on the left side, 2 missing, 6 still in place. The engine housing still all completely intact. On the rear as well. Rear guard guns, rocket turrets, cannon turrets are still in place. All of them. Hell, even the antennas on the top, although the big, yeah, we are missing an antenna, the big white one.
I was really going for those antennas.
Our main radar antenna's gone. Yeah, let's check out the victims of this completely unbiased engagement.
All ammo boxes destroyed.
All ammo boxes are destroyed on the Xpedia. Is missing a fair old chunk of, oh my god. I tell you what, this thing, so impressive how survivable this thing is. Look, still got a main rear thruster left. Most of its armor is still there on the rear of the ship. It's still got turrets up. That's impressive. But there are some massive holes in the side.
Blew me out of the pilot seat.
Yeah, wow. You had to go to the second cockpit. Yeah, the RT turret at the front of the ship, and most of the front of the ship is missing. We've got innards exposed to space. Hell, but it was still flying, wasn't it?
Just barely, yeah.
Let's check out the Liberator. Liberator's got a bit of a glitch at the moment because we've got half the X media attached to it. Let's try and ignore that. But outer armor, quite a lot of damage, but it's still intact. No turrets left. All the turrets have been taken off. Lots of armor damage, but I don't think there is any gaping holes into the middle of the ship. In fact, it looks largely...
Oh, there's actually a hole into the cockpit. You almost blew me out of my cockpit.
Oh, wow. Yeah, look at this. Pew, pew, pew. Damn. I would not like to be sat there while that was happening. Rapid decompression. Rear of the ship looks pretty damn good. Barely any damage here at all. Engines all still intact. Some minor damage to the glass protectors. The outer ring, all the engines on the outer ring, although yeah, there are some missing, but most of them are still very much here, very much intact. This thing just doesn't know how to die. It really doesn't, does it?
Got a decent amount of turrets. A bunch of my rear-facing thrusters.
Yeah.
Or forward-facing thrusters.
Do love the design of this ship. It is incredible and so durable. Yeah, we can see there that front-facing thrusters missing. There we go, guys. The Reba's Wrath for you, available in the workshop now. Link in the video description. She kicks butt in PvE and PvP, as it would turn out. Although maybe in PvP it takes a while to do anything. But like I said, this thing isn't designed really to go solo anywhere. It is a carrier. Its primary power is the fighters inside. So, but hell, if it gets in a scrap, it can certainly fight his way out of it. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've also enjoyed the series. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you both to Lucifer and Chisels for helping me in the end here. Also a big thank you to everyone who suggested names for this beast. Much appreciated. And as always, hopefully I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.